we look at the sky at some frequency, and we started out by using radio telescopes. So we're looking for signals that are arriving here on Earth that are in the size of the waves that arrive are centimeters to meters. That's the radio part of the spectrum. And we look for signals that are a type that we don't think that nature can produce naturally. So at first we looked for frequency compression. We looked for signals that showed up only on one channel of the radio dial. Natural emissions show up on many channels across the spectrum, and they're what we call broadband. But we're looking for narrowband signals, something that was created and engineered to look artificial. And we do that in two ways. We take the radio telescope and we point it either at star systems where we know that there are planets orbiting, or we think there are planets orbiting. And then we also can take the telescope and sweep it across the sky so that we survey all directions. Now, that second methodology, the sky survey, is less sensitive than the targeted search because we don't spend much time looking at any frequency at any direction when you're making a big survey. But so we think it's a good idea to do both of these strategies. We started with the targeted search at the radio and then started a sky survey using telescopes from NASA's Deep Space Network when we were part of NASA as a SETI project. And we did these two methodologies, and we did it systematically. And we were looking for, again, signals that could change in time slowly, but only ever occupied a very narrow range of frequencies at once. And then, as time went on, we began rethinking what other kinds of things we could be looking for. And one of the things that we realized was that we had essentially no sensitivity to transient signals, things that turned on and turned off, but were not continuously there. And so we began developing technologies that could look for these transients. And then we expanded our wavelength coverage to begin to look in the optical part of the spectrum and the infrared. And we began thinking about not only deliberately generated signals, but what other manifestations of technology might we find?